Welcome, everyone, to the second annual Turning Points Be the Keys breakfast. Good morning. I am Charles Whitfield. I am honored to be your MC this morning. I am a proud Be the Key Society member, a Turning Points board member, volunteer, and a health advocate. I've been involved with Turning Points for 15 years through my work with Centerstone. But I'm gonna age myself right now. I started working with Turning Points when we were called Manatee Glens, and we used to call Turning Points One Stop. So that's 15 years, so I'm aging myself right now. I took a larger role in Turning Points in 2020 when Adele reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be a part of the board of directors. I said yes. The amazing services that Turning Points provide for the community for health, dentistry, primary and specialty medical care, this is something I want to be involved in. I live 10 blocks away from Turning Points, so I can see the daily struggles of our neighbors and our community. Who wouldn't want to be a part of Turning Points? It is my honor to recognize some very important people that made it this morning possible. Thank you for the table captains. Thank you for inviting all these wonderful people to learn more about our work and mission to prevent the reduced homelessness here in Manatee County. Thank you to the partners who have already pledged their 5-year support to Be the Key Society members. We have 84 individuals and couples who believe in the work that we do and want to keep Turning Point sustainable. Be the Key members, please stand. Thank you. Thank you to the many elected officials and official representatives here this morning. We value and are so grateful for your support. Please stand to be recognized. And a very important thank you to Aetna Medicare Solution for generously sponsoring this good food that you see on your table. Thank you. The sponsorship allows every dollar raised today to go towards Turning Point's programs and operating support. Thank you. Not only is Aetna sponsoring this event today, they partner with us and are at our campus every week, assisting and educating our clients on their healthcare options. I would like to introduce Danetta Collins. She is a community advocate and part of our local Aetna Medicare team.
Hi, I'm Danetta, a field sales representative for Aetna. You might have seen me and my colleagues at Turning Point in front of Turning Point. We're there, rain or shine, even in 100-degree weather, hosting our Aetna tabletop, educating our neighbors on the Aetna Medicare Advantage benefits. As you may imagine, I see a whole lot from where I stand at the tabletop. I've also seen, and I've noticed, that Turning Point makes a big difference. They provide many pieces to a good life. So Aetna is there at Turning Point. We're in front of the main door, and of course, people ask us questions. Questions like, can I get my food stamps renewed here? I have a job interview today. Can I get a bus pass? Questions like, where's the dental center? These are services Turning Point provides. These are services and pieces to a good life. So on the days that I arrive very early to set up my Aetna tabletop, at Turning Point. I see all the community partners, the helpers of Turning Point, getting their day started. I see the housing case managers, maintenance, security, the directors, the doctors, a host of volunteers, and Aetna field sales representatives. We work as a community. Aetna gives me the opportunity to live out my purpose, to help people in need. I love doing that, and I love doing that at Turning Point. If I can say, over the summer, I enrolled one of our neighbors in our Aetna Medicare dual plan. She had Medicare and Medicaid, so she was eligible for our dual plan. Tears filled her eyes. She was overwhelmed of all the benefits that she would be receiving: the food card, utility, transportation, companion care, zero out-of-pocket medical, dental, vision, hearing, and much more. She looked at me and said, "This is a one-stop shop. I get help on the inside and on the outside." Now, I seen that same lady about 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, your plan is getting an upgrade. You're gonna get an extra benefit card of $740, $240 for your over-the-counter, $500 for gas in your car, transportation, pay your utilities, grocery shopping." She had the biggest smile on her face. For that cause, I do not mind standing out in 100-degree weather with my Aetna tabletop at Turning Point. Aetna is a proud sponsor of the Be the Key breakfast and a proud partner of Turning Point. Thank you.
Thank you, Danetta. Can we please give them a round of applause again? On behalf of Turning Point Board of Directors, staff, volunteers, and clients, thank you for sharing your morning with us. Our program is filled with bravery, courage, hope, and we're grateful for our special guests who will graciously offer to share their journey and Turning Point story with you. Please welcome Susie Bowie.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to see such a huge crowd here that understands the importance of this mission. Thank you for taking the time to be in a space where we can not only be inspired by the good work of Turning Points, but where we can also be honest about what people are facing in our community today. At Manatee Community Foundation, we are often in a position to think about the lifespan of an individual, how the various stages of life intersect with community, family, friends, work, and play. People are often contemplative when they come to us. They're contemplative about why they give after they've had the privilege of experiencing such a long life and a good life. It wasn't until talking to Turning Points that I learned about the age at which many homeless people die. It has been shockingly consistent, and the average age of death is 48 to 50 years old. This means that while most of us have experienced our life expectancy increasing over the ages, life expectancy of our loved ones increasing over the ages, people who experience homelessness have roughly the same life expectancy as a resident of the United States in 1910. Framed another way, experiencing homelessness takes off about 29 years of life right here in this country with all of the abundance we have in this country and here in this community. Now I'd like to play a sobering voicemail. It's a real voicemail that was left by a father who called Turning Points. Unfortunately, his son, Joshua, passed away at the age of 38.
My name is Jack Willoughby Josh Willoughby was my son. I met all you guys at Christmas about 10 days before. Everybody knows Josh from Kentucky. Josh passed away the 15th of May from cirrhosis or whatever. But I wanted to call and give you all the best wishes. You were great to my son. You were good to my son. And I just wanted to bless you dearly, all of you, and the ministry there, and just everybody, all of you. I love all you guys. You all were so, so very good to my boy.
Thank you, Susie. Wow. That voicemail. You now have 10 minutes to recover and finish your breakfast before we return to the program. Thank you. Next, it is my honor to welcome Turning Point's Executive Director, Kathleen Kramer, to the stage. Thank you. Give her a round of applause.
Jean is absolutely one of my favorite clients. She's a 58-year-old regular at Turning Points who sleeps most nights at the shelter. She greeted me with a huge smile and a "Good morning, Miss Kathleen," almost every day for 2 years. She was an ambassador. They called her mom. She saw someone looking out of sorts. She was the first one to say, "Let me take you on a tour. Let me show you around." She gave wisdom and tips on the best places to get services in town. A few months ago, Jean died of heart failure under a tree, not more than 100 feet away from Turning Points. It broke my heart. We had provided services every day for her: showers, food, laundry, clothes. But I am embarrassed to say that I don't know the last time we talked to her about changing her situation, getting out of homelessness if she wanted to, and how we could help. Because we don't have the bandwidth to talk to those everyday clients and do those regular check-ins. But we can do better, and we will. This past year, we struggled with the lingering effects of the pandemic, Hurricane Ian, skyrocketing rents, and the worst inflation in 4 decades. We all felt the effects, but none more devastatingly than our low to moderate income families. The face of homelessness is changing, and it looks like the family next door. Our transitional development team took in 5,111 rental and utility assistance applications last year. I have 5 housing case managers. And with the assistance of Turning Points, over 600 people remained housed, or 600 households remained housed this year, and over 600 households remained last year. Many of them have children, and we're really proud that 94% of the people who received housing assistance stayed housed for 12 months or longer, and that's really outstanding. Thank you. But I can't help but think about the ones who didn't get our assistance. What became of them? We can do better, and we will. I love our free health center at Turning Points. Every year, over 1,400 uninsured Manatee County residents get high-quality, compassionate medical care at no cost to them. And we have an outstanding program: primary care, specialty care, dental care, pharmaceutical care. We have over 30 medical specialists that volunteer with us. It's really incredible. But you knew there was a but, right? But many factors contribute to quality health. Only 20% of a person's health is determined by access to quality medical care. The other 80% are the non-medical factors that influence your health outcomes. Things like access to fruits and vegetables, the quality of the air you breathe, how safe you are in your community. We have been providing outstanding health care. I use that word a lot because I really think it's outstanding. But we don't have a clear process for connecting our patients with the social services that are offered right at Turning Points and throughout our community. We can do better, and we will. Please do not get me wrong. I am incredibly proud of everything that's happening at Turning Points. The work that we're doing, it's pretty incredible. And I see it every day when I walk through the campus. I see so many successes. But I also see the people that we have to turn away. They're in crisis, and we have to turn them away. It's 10 to 20 people every single day. Sounds horrible, doesn't it? Well, it feels horrible too. Our clients have complex and varied needs, and Turning Points cannot offer the services to take care of all of them. But it doesn't make it feel any better, and we can do better, and we will. So what's the vision? The vision is navigators, lots and lots of navigators. This year, Turning Points kicked off a navigator pilot program with Bring on the Ministry. The volunteers They served as volunteers 3 hours a day, 3 days a week on our campus. They listen. They help create plans. They serve as advocates, connectors. They open doors that our clients can't open on their own. Like Len, he walked in with a wad of medical bills. And within 20 minutes, I received an email from Melinda with Bring On the Ministry. Over $15,000 in debt had been forgiven. He had Medicaid. She called and served as his advocate and just hadn't been billed properly. Over $15,000 gone. Or Kelly, who was pregnant and addicted. Those navigators worked the phones till they could get her into a detox program and then into a prenatal program that provided housing and support for an entire year. With Bring On the Ministry serving as navigators, only 9 hours a week, the success stories were piling up. Legal services obtained, after-school care arranged, landlord issues resolved, placement into addiction services, families reunited, and more. I was thinking, if this is what we can do in 9 hours, what can we do in more? So with the help of the Bransick Foundation and Manatee Matches, we have hired a full-time navigator who starts in December. In partnership with Bank of America, a second full-time navigator will start. We're hiring right now to work with our patients in the health center. But 2 navigators aren't going to be enough. We had over 9,000 individuals seek help at Turning Points last year. I want a gaggle, a flock, a team, a whole troop of navigators. I want every person who walks into Turning Points in crisis to have a navigator available to them, to listen, to create a plan, to connect them to resources, to fill out paperwork together, whatever it is that they need. And that navigator program will provide extra bandwidth for the entire Turning Point staff and give us the opportunity to make sure that we are having regular check-ins with those clients like Jean. This is a shift in how Turning Points currently operates. And to make this work, we will need more staff, more volunteers, more partners, more space, but I have no doubt that we can do it with your help. Look around this room. We have our community's brightest and most talented right here. I already know that 3 of you are thinking, I know a change management specialist I could sweet talk into helping Turning Points out at a reduced cost. 5 of you are making a mental note to talk to your congregations or places of worship about adopting the Navigator program in 2023. And others are just thinking of people to call on helping us connect with the incredible resources that are available in our community. This excites me. Because I know that with all of you working with us, we can do better, and we will. Thank you. Now we're on to the part of the breakfast that you're really here for, which is to meet the incredible families that we serve.
I had wrote a final letter to my friends and family just that I didn't want to live anymore. I've been migraine sufferer since I was like 6 years old. And I came here, something made me leave home and come here. And I told Dr. Susan B. In so many words, I said, if I don't get help here today, I don't want to live anymore. And she asked me to stay for 2 or 3 hours while she discussed something with Dr. Keller. And I don't know what they came up with, but they sent me home with some medication that was very, very expensive. And after 13 days, the next day, I finally got relief. And they helped me here. They did something that nobody else would help me, look at me, do anything for me, and they did. Had it not been for them, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm very, very thankful for that, very appreciative. And again, thank you to all the volunteers, the staff, whoever gives money, whoever does whatever it is you're doing, please keep doing it, please, because it helps. It really does help. And we're very appreciative, especially me.
We were doing quite well. When I was married, living on Longboat Key in $1 million home, had a boat, all the toys, and I got cancer about 3 years ago. And both of my kids are of special needs. That's already a stress on a marriage, in a strange, odd way. And my wife left me, and she took both of the kids at the time. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't take care of the house. I couldn't take care of myself. Last night was my last night of couch surfing. Yes, I have an apartment now through the help of Turning Points. But finally, today, I have a new home. My family is back together now. Really, through the help of you, Turning Points. Just the kindness that I've been given. And hopefully I can give some of that back at some point.
Coming here to Turning Points this morning, I'm happy because Miss Kathy's been working with me and found me the perfect job. And being 14 months clean, I'd gone through a couple struggles, but I persevered because of the people that are here to help and really help you in more ways than you can imagine. There's all kinds of services here. Just an amazing, wonderful place to come to get help and remember where you came from, because I used to be on the streets. Coming here and getting that help, I feel alive. I really feel alive and just so grateful that where my life is going today. Just coming here, they welcome you with open arms. And so feeling good is earned, I believe, because you change your choices, your decision makings, and most of all, you change your mind. Before I came to Turning Points with my teeth were no, just no. I couldn't eat. I couldn't put anything cold in my mouth, couldn't put anything hot in my mouth. I was losing weight very badly. Your teeth get so bad off, they will physically make you ill. You can physically die by having bad teeth. And you're thinking something else is wrong with you, and it's not. It's bad teeth. My health is improved. My eating is improved. My work relationships improved. I'm a front security for Westminster Suncoast, and I get to greet everybody that comes in there, and I'm always greeting them with a smile, and they're always telling me how beautiful my smile is, which in return I get to think, thank you, Turning Points. Y'all are awesome. I love everybody that puts in any time at this facility is worth appreciating, because they're seeing front hand what we as the homeless are going through. They're trying to help you. I love you guys.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Kim Sand, and I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been a clinical provider at Turning Points for the last 4.5 years. I'm also an assistant professor of nursing at Nova Southeastern University's Nurse Practitioner Program. And Turning Points provides me the opportunity to bring my students, my nurse practitioner students there, where they experience a robust clinical experience, and they address those social determinants of health that Kathleen talked about, getting them ready for when they start providing care. Providing care in this underserved setting is challenging, but it is extremely rewarding. One of my special patients is here today, and she would like to talk about her journey with Turning Points Nadine comes to our clinic for her chronic medical issues, but she always has a smile and a gracious word for each of the staff. I consider it a privilege that she trusts me with her healthcare and well-being. Please welcome Nadine Adams.
Hello, and good morning, everyone. I am truly grateful to be here with you and blessed by the opportunity to share my journey at Turning Points. I am alive and standing in front of you only because of God's grace and the medical care that I receive at Turning Points. Let me tell you a little about myself. I do ministry, particularly homeless outreach, for my local church, and I operate the food pantry with the help of the members and volunteers. But there were mornings when I felt so sick, I didn't want to get out of bed. I lived daily with aches and pains, and most days it was overwhelming. It was getting harder and harder to do my ministry, the homeless outreach, and to run the food pantry. But I am one of the thousands of Manatee County residents who do not have health insurance, so I didn't think I had anywhere to go. But then I heard about Turning Points. I remember when I came in for my first primary care appointment. My blood sugar was over 400. I had high blood pressure. My pulse was low. My numbers were so bad that I was told I should have been in a coma. I had no idea I was so sick. Dr. Sand is my primary caregiver, and I am so truly blessed to be cared for by her. She listens to me. She asks me questions, and she has not only treated my medical issues, but take care of me as a whole person. I have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, hypothyroidism, rheumatoid arthritis, diverticulosis, high blood pressure, to name a few. Dr. Sand and her NOVA students work with me, treat my diabetes and all of my ailments. My blood sugar is now in the normal range. She orders blood work for me every 6 months, and she really cares about my health and well-being. I worked with Dr. Vasquez on getting the right medications for me. We found out that I'm allergic to so many medications, and it has been a struggle to find the right treatments. He once even brought in a medication that was just for me. I was first treated by Dr. Miller with acupuncture, who diagnosed that my pulse was so low and my body temperature was too low. Currently, I see the chiropractor at Turning Points. We waited 3 years before we were able to have a chiropractor, but Dr. Cohen never gave up in getting the doctors that we needed at Turning Points. Dr. Howard, my chiropractor, is a walking miracle worker. I come in weekly because I need my bones tweaked in order to function. I tell him where the pain is, and he knows exactly what to do. I come in pain, and when I leave my appointment, I am ready to face another week. The treatments and the care that I have received at Turning Points allow me to function with less pain and to be able to, in turn, help others who are in need. This is also important because now I can continue to do the ministry and the work that I was called to do. I'm so blessed to get this care at Turning Points. This place, the doctors, the staff, mixed with true concern and care, has made Turning Points a true pivot in the outcome of my health and my life. I encourage you today, whether you're a doctor, a volunteer, or someone who can just go in and share a smile, join Turning Points and continue helping to turn lives around for the better. I thank you. Be blessed and be the blessing.
Wow. Thank you, Nadine. Please welcome Stephen to the stage.
I was 12 years old when my mother threw me out the house. It was wintertime in Philadelphia. I was alone and I was homeless. But I found a way to survive. I survived and I thrived. Those bad times created some good times. I grew up and I started my own business outside of Philadelphia. I never in a million years thought I would experience homelessness again. Jump to early 2020, my daughter's mother and my 2 children moved to Florida. She was struggling. I also missed my children, and I wanted to be with them. So I decided to move to Florida to help them and be with them again. I researched and I had a plan. I found a mobile home to purchase so we could all live together again. The owner wanted me to pay through wire, but being in Philadelphia and him being here, I wasn't too comfortable with that. So I decided the next day, pack everything up and come down to Florida. Well, when I got here, the deal fell through. He sold it to someone else at a higher price. At this point, I did not have a job, but I did have my savings. I started staying with a friend and paid him rent for 4 months. The day I came home with good news that I found a job, I received bad news. My friend told me we were being evicted. Come to find out, he wasn't paying the rent. And you know what happened then? COVID hit. My daughter's mom caught COVID, and she was really sick. She lost her job. There were lots of layoffs everywhere, and I lost my job too. But I needed to care for her and my 2 daughters. We needed a safe place to stay and get better and be safe from COVID. We started staying at Airbnbs and hotels. We moved to, but unfortunately, all that, my money depleted. So we had to move into the van. And I had to tell my kids we were car camping. Now my entire family were experiencing homelessness. I hated lying to my children, and I felt crushed. I felt like I failed them. I let them down. I never wanted this for my family. I went through so many agencies and was told no. Doors were being shut in my face. I have kids. We just needed a hand up, and there was no one that said yes. Then someone told me about Turning Points, and my story started to change and get better. I came in, the first person I talked to was so comforting. I became a client. I took a shower. I got the information I needed and more resources. People didn't judge me at Turning Points. I felt welcome. It had been a long time since somebody been nice to me and my children. We started coming every day. It was somewhere safe to be with my children and their mother, and I wanted to give back. I met with Cheryl and became a volunteer. I started volunteering 1 day a week, which turned out to be 5, because it was a great place. I met with Cheryl, and Kathleen noticed me as well. She told me about this new program at Career Source, Suncoast. She said I could apply to the program, get paid through the grant, but my job would be at Turning Points. I applied and I was accepted. Then I enrolled in the Turning Points Readiness Program. Helen and Patty were my teachers. They were so encouraging and remarkable. They helped me create a resume, get me job ready and housing ready. Then there was an opening for a personal service coordinator and a day resource center. I applied and I got the job. So now I'm officially working for Turning Points. But that's not it. My story gets better. Next, I applied for housing through Turning Points as well. Another volunteer that got through the program, Jackie Love, told me her story and where she lived. And she helped talk to the landlord, gave a great reference for me, and now I live there. Turning Points helped pay for the first month's rent and utilities. Because the people at Turning Point believed in me and worked with me, I was able to get employed, get housed, and I am able to provide a safe, comfortable home for my daughters. We are back on track right now, and I am so grateful. I tell our clients, I know what you're going through. Believe me, I do. And I am able to make a connection with them, to help them on another level, to tell them that it can get better. You have to appreciate what you have in life. This is a picture of my daughters, Rihanna and Raven, my babies. We are blessed that I found Turning Points. We thank you very much.
Okay, now talking after that could be a challenge. Good morning, I'm Karen Winden, and I have the privilege of chairing the board at Turning Points. And I'm also a weekly volunteer there at the front desk. The front desk is where we see people at their best and at their worst. It's always an adventure. Unfortunately, a lot of people in our community think that the face of homelessness is a single face. They think that you all often hear, oh, it's all drunks and addicts or people who don't want to do anything for themselves. Well, I would tell you that there are many, many faces of homelessness, and you've heard from some of them today. I'd like to share a couple of them that I have grown to know and love in my time at the front desk. First, Janine. Names have been changed to protect folks. Janine had a stroke at age 19. It left her 90% nonverbal. She had no family supports. She was on the streets. Imagine having no ability to communicate or limited ability to communicate and no one to advocate for her. Our case managers were Janine's advocate. They found her housing. They've helped her to find a way. They've found her medical care, and Janine is starting to thrive. She has a smile that would light up the world. You would love her. Or let me tell you about Victoria. Victoria was Oxford educated, brilliant woman who had a traumatic brain injury as a result of a car accident. She now lives on the streets with her emotional support dog. This brilliant woman can't remember 3 numbers for more than a few seconds. She loves well, but she can't remember why. Or let me tell you about Bob. Bob worked as a welder in our community for 40 years. He retired, and his wife passed away. When that happened, Bob realized he had no idea how to pay his bills, how to manage their finances. Technology had left Bob behind. He had a $1,100 a month Social Security check and an $800 monthly lot rent for his mobile home. He was scared. And with our case managers, they were able to connect him, help him navigate the system, find some options, and learn what that internet thing really was. There is no single face of homelessness. They are all different. But the important thing is they are all human and have their individual humanity, no different from any of us in this room today. Today you've heard about the Turning Point story and you've met some of our wonderful people. Now it's my privilege to ask you to consider making a financial investment to support our day-to-day operations. 2 years ago, we launched something new, the Be the Key Society. That's a multi-year giving initiative that allows people to give a pledge of $1,000 or more for a 5-year period to invest in the future of Turning Points. This multi-year commitment helps us to continue to provide services and not start at zero every year. Table captains, if you would be so kind to pass out the pledge sheets. As you look at these sheets, we'll start at the top of the card where it says Be the Key Society Pledge section. The first giving level, the Gift of Hope, is a pledge of $1,000 each year for 5 years, which is approximately $83 a month. With your gift, you can open doors by replacing lost birth certificates for our clients. A birth certificate is a first step in getting a Florida ID, in obtaining food stamps, in getting housing, and getting that all-important job. The second level, the Gift of Compassion, is a level at $2,500 a year for 5 years, or about $208 a month. An example of what this gift may give is a level of providing a new smile for 8 people a year through the Project Smile Denture program, and you heard how impactful that was from our speaker earlier. The Gift of Friendship level is a pledge of $10,000 a year for 5 years. This would provide an entire year of housing assistance and those ever-critical wraparound services for a family struggling with homelessness. And the last level of giving, the Gift of Love, is a pledge of $20,000 each year for 5 years. This level of giving would allow us to provide 214 individuals with life-saving medications that they need to maintain health and lead better lives. You heard Nadine's story about how critical that is to keep people functioning in our community. The next line on the sheet is for those who may prefer to give at a different level. Please tell us what you'd like to give and for how many years. Perhaps you'd like to make a gift of stock or something else, or maybe you just have great ideas for us. If so, please check that next box, the one that says, please contact me, I have other thoughts to share. If you're a current Be This Key Society member, please consider adding another year to your pledge or increasing your annual gift. Please know that whatever you have given today, including that gift of your time by being here, we so sincerely appreciate your support for the people that we serve in our community. I'll give you a few moments to finish filling out your pledge cards. When you're finished, fold those in half and pass them to your table captains. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Nadine and Stephen, you are so brave for sharing your story with us today. Thank you and thank your family. Can we give Nadine and Stephen a round of applause? I also want to take this time to thank Turning Point staff, board of directors, volunteer, METV, and table captains for all the time and energy they gave to make this wonderful event possible. But most importantly, I want to thank you all for spending your time with us this morning. So give yourself a round of applause. Giving is not just about making a gift. Giving is about making a difference. Thank you for joining us today with this important work, and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.